Multiply those two together, and I get 2.067, which is obviously, again, something we have to round. It's going to round to $2.07. Okay, this is a markdown problem. So am I subtracting from or adding to my original amount? Shelby. It's a markdown. Am I subtracting from or adding to my original amount?
Decrease. So
Subtracting from my original amount, exactly. So I'm going to do 689 minus 207 to finish. And that's going to give me a final price of $4.82. The next problem is the only problem today that we'll do that's not going to use that setup. Example 4 is going to go back to using the old over 100 equals new over x formula that we did yesterday, and it's not going to do it any differently than we did yesterday. It just happens to be in a different section. A Dell 2400 sold for $499 last year and $549 this year. What is the amount of markup? Dell 2400 sold for $499 last year and $549 this year. What is the amount of markup? Shouldn't be terribly difficult for us to identify the old and new, because they told us the one from last year, that would be the old, obviously. So old is $499, and the new is $549. So I got $499 over 100 equals $549 over x. All right, from here, we go ahead and cross multiply. So in the one diagonal, I've got 499 times x, which is 499x. On the other diagonal, I've got 549 times 100, 54,900. Divide out by 499. And you'll get x equals 110.002,004. Weird number, but that's what it happens to be. 110.02004. All right, now there were two steps you had to do after you found x. What was the first one, Jackson? Subtract 100. So I'm going to take 100 off that result. At -10.02004. What was the other step?
Make it positive.
What?
Make it positive.
Which is finding the what?
Absolute value.
Very good. Find the absolute value. Taking the absolute value here isn't actually going to change anything, so we can just leave it alone. Stick a percent sign it. So it's just over a 10% increase in price. All right, let's go last one. Back to what we were doing before. The state of Indiana charges a sweet tax during the winter months of 2%. If I buy a $28 box of candy with 7% regular tax, how much will I pay? The state of Indiana charges a sweet tax during the winter months of 2%. If I buy a box of $28 candy with 7% regular tax, how much will I pay? Okay, so first thing we have to figure out, not that it's difficult, what's the total amount of tax I'm going to pay here? Jackie? Yeah, 9% total tax. 7% regular, 2% of the sweet tax extra, total of 9%. So I'm doing 28 times 0.09 here. and we multiply those together, and I get 252. So now I've got to add the original amount and the extra amount, the tax, together. I've got to add the 28 and the 252 together, and I do that, and I get 3052.